The greatest common factor is actually the largest number that two items or two or more items will have in common with each other. Which is a little ironic because usually the greatest common factor actually turns out to be a smaller number than the ones you started with. So let me give you an example. So let's say we started off with a problem like find the GCF, greatest common factor, for 36 and 44. So that's the problem they're going to pose to us. Find the GCF, that greatest common factor, for both 36 and 44. Okay, well, let's take a look at that. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the factors. So I'm going to look at what goes into 36 evenly. So we're not going to worry about 1 because that goes into everything. So let's go ahead and start looking at 2 goes into that. And that will leave me 18. So then 2 would go into that. And that would leave me 9. And then 3 goes into that, and 3 goes into that. So we're breaking it down into prime numbers, the smallest numbers that would give me 36. Okay, we're going to do the exact same thing for 44 now. 44 is 2, which leaves me 22. 2, which leaves me 11. So now what I'm looking for is what numbers or what values will go into both of these evenly. Okay, well, we know that this will. 2 goes into both, and that will. The 3 goes into 36, but it will not go into 44. And the 11 will go into 44, but it won't go into 36. That means they don't have that in common. So really, what we have then is we have a 2 and we have a 2. So our GCF for this would be 2 times 2, or 4. That's the biggest number that can evenly divide into both of those. Okay, and that's the key to this, is we're looking for a factor, something that can go into both of these. All right, let's try another one. What about if they said, find the GCF of 15 and 14? Okay, small numbers. So let's start out with 15 here. So 15 is going to be 3 times 5, and 14 is 2 times 7. So what do they have in common? Well, it doesn't look like they really have anything in common in terms of these, right? The 2 goes into the 14, but not the 15. 3 goes into that, but so it's none of these match. So what would our greatest common factor be? Well, here's where we've got to kind of rely on the fact that what number goes into all these. So the greatest common factor for this one would be 1. The only number really that goes into them both, and that would be the only thing that could potentially divide into these if we have nothing else in common.